Welcome back to another ZAGSBLOG Zoom series interview. I'm your host, Jacob Polachek, and today I'm joined by class of 2021 University of Missouri men's basketball commit, Sean Durugordon. Sean, thank you for coming on.
Oh,
Where are you joining us from today?
you said what? Sorry.
Where are you joining us from today?
Connecticut, Putnam Science Academy.
Well, let's get into things. Last month, you announced your commitment to Missouri over a number of schools, including Georgia, Seton Hall, Arizona State, VCU, and DePaul, among others. So what was it about Missouri that stood out to you, ultimately leading to your commitment?
I probably have to say it was my relationship with the whole staff there. They made me feel like family, from the jump when I started talking with them. I have a great relationship with Coach Martin there. Me and him talked a lot throughout the recruiting process. He called me the most. I think he was probably the most active head coach in my recruitment. So that meant a lot to me. And, their play style, it fits my type of play style well. So I feel like my game will be exposed well out there.
And due to the coronavirus pandemic, you had to make your decision without taking visits. So do you mind just talking a little bit about what it was like navigating through the recruiting process during a pandemic, and how did all of that affect your decision-making process?
Yeah, the virus definitely made it hard, for like visits and stuff like that. But I just felt like I just used this time to, talk more with coaches, just get a better feel for like the staff there, watch a lot of film on them too. So that's really two of the things that I really based off of my decision making, just like mainly my relationship with the staff, just seeing how much I heard from the head coach, from the whole staff there, because I think that's, was probably what made me feel most comfortable with Mizzou. I just felt most comfortable with them. We built up a trust. So yeah, the virus definitely made it hard, but I felt like, building relationships with coaches, was really imperative during times like that, or during times like this. So.
And so looking back on everything, what would you say was your favorite part of the whole recruiting process?
Every time, I mean, I really like the Zooms. I feel like the Zoom meetings really gave me a better insight on like their program, how badly they wanted me, like how I would be able to fit in their system, all the information about their program, the virtual tours of the campus. I felt like, given the circumstances, the Zooms were pretty good, and, it really made up for a lot.
And then on the other hand of things, if you could change one thing about the recruiting process, what would you change?
Um, you mean like what would I change specifically about like what I did, or
Just
like
just the whole recruiting process, just from your experience.
um one thing I would change in the recruiting process is probably, you know, um it's hard. Maybe the one thing that I'd probably change is, just doing more research in schools. I mean, like I did, my fair share of like research on like a lot of schools, but I just felt like I could have done more, watch more film of like on more schools, get a better feel for their offense and stuff like that. But that'd probably be the one thing I change, just watch more film on like all the schools that were recruiting me.
So given that, what advice would you give to someone who is about to begin the recruiting process themselves?
Um, One thing I would tell a kid that's about to start the recruiting process, like I'd probably tell them, just try and do as more try and just do as much research on the schools as possible. Really do your homework on like, the schools. Um, Make sure you're talking with the head coach as much as possible, because that's, the coach that you're going to be playing under, and that's ultimately the person that's, deciding your minutes and stuff like that. So I definitely tell them to, make sure he builds a good relationship with the whole staff there.
And just recently, it was reported that you're going to graduate early and enroll at Mizzou in January. So you're going to redshirt this next season before playing in the fall of 2021. So was this something that you had always planned on doing when you committed, or when did you make the decision to enroll early?
Now I actually made the decision pretty recently. I was just thinking a lot about it, you know, my family and stuff like that. And, you know, we just like my goal has always been to make the NBA as soon as possible. And although I'll be redshirting the remainder of the season, I just felt like, you know, getting there as soon as possible will help me develop my game, improve, get stronger and faster, you know, with all the great resources they have there. You know, learn their offense more. So, you know, come fall of 2021, you know, I'll be ready to go as a freshman, you know, be able to, you know, probably get as, you know, a lot of minutes given that I've been there for, you know, 5 or 6 months, you know, learning everything. My body is physically prepared. So I just felt like it would just put me in a better position to get a lot of minutes as a freshman, which will, you know, help me be able to showcase my ability from the jump, you know, once I get there and start playing.
And is there any area of your game right now that you're most focused on improving before you go to Mizzou?
Yeah, I'm really, you know, just continuing to improve my handle, you know, become more confident with my handle, because I could see myself being you know, a facilitator, you know, like at the college level. You know, just continuing to shoot the ball more. I mean, I'm a pretty good shooter now, but, you know, just continuing to get a lot of reps up and, you know, be consistent with my release and stuff like that. You know, those are probably two things that I'm working a lot on. I'm also working a lot on my footwork. You know, once I get back home, you know, I'll be able to work with my trainer a lot. So I'll be able to work on those little parts of my game, you know, my footwork and stuff like that. But probably, you know, just becoming more confident in my handle and just shooting the ball more for sure.
So overall, how do you think that having that extra time to learn the system, to get acclimated, how do you think that that's going to help you as you prepare to start your college basketball career?
Yeah, I feel like that's going to help me a ton, you know, just being in practice, you know, with, you know, the veterans there, you know, them take me under their wing. You know, I'll be able to watch, you know, the games because I'll be able to travel with the team. So I'll be able to watch the games, you know, see how an SEC game, you know, it's like from the baseline. You know, just be able to, you know, just practice and just work out with, you know, guys that's been there for 3 or 4 years, you know, that are stronger than me, you know, more skilled. I feel like that's just gonna, you know, push me more, you know, just give me a whole head start on like everyone that's coming in that a year or two. So I feel like it's going to be really, you know, beneficial for me and my development for sure.
And you're joining a class at Mizzou that featured guys like Anton Brookshire, Yaya Kita, Trayvon Brazile, and Caleb Brown. Have you been in touch with those guys? And really, how good do you think that this Mizzou 2021 class can be?
Yeah, you know, we have a group chat. You know, we've been talking and stuff like that. You know, I personally think that, you know, this class is really really good. We're really underrated, but I feel like, you know, we're gonna make some noise as, you know, at Mizzou. You know, we're gonna build a solid foundation there and really, you know, make some noise in the SEC. You know, once we come in, I feel like, you know, we're all really talented and can make an impact. You know, all as freshmen. So I'm looking forward to it.
And obviously, Mizzou already has all of you guys committed, but are there any guys that you're looking at to try and bring into Mizzou? Any guys that you've been recruiting yourself?
Um, Not any guys that I've personally been recruiting. I know that we already have about like 5 commitments, so I'm not sure really how much scholarships we have left. But nah, not anybody personally that I've been, you know, talking to trying to get to come to Mizzou.
Now, let's get into your game a little bit. So, for those that haven't seen you play, how would you describe your game?
I'm a really unselfish player. You know, I like to get my teammates involved. You know, I don't really like to, you know, force shots. I let my game come to me naturally. Really good teammate. I'm a guy that can create for myself, can create for others. I'm a good off the dribble shooter, have a really quick first step. I can get to the rim and finish with contact well. Um, Solid 3-point shooter. Um, and I'm just a guy that's defensively, I really take pride in that. I'm the type of guy that'll guard the best player, have no problem doing it. Really good rebounder. I personally think that I'm probably the best offensive rebounder in the country. Um, but yeah, I'm just a guy that's really versatile too. That could play all over the court. Defend 1 through 4, can play the 1 through 4 offensively too. Yeah, I'm just a natural scorer too. I just let my game come to me. And like I said, the underrated part of my game, I feel like people don't really know about yet. It's my passing ability. I see the floor really well. So yeah, that's probably how I would describe my game to somebody that hasn't seen me play.
And you're a guy that had something like 25 offers. You're ranked as one of the top players currently in the state of Connecticut. Obviously, you're from New York, but has there been one moment throughout your basketball career where you realized, wow, I could potentially have a career playing basketball. I could one day do this for a living. Was there one moment?
One moment, I don't really think there was one moment. It's more of a gradual thing. I mean, I started playing ball when I was really young. So, since I was young, I always loved basketball. But I don't think there was a specific moment where I, realized that I could, be a pro. But it was more of a gradual thing that happened throughout the years.
Now, I know you and I have talked previously about some of your hobbies off the court, and one of the things that you mentioned was computer coding. So, you mind just talking a little bit about that? What's that all about, and how'd you get into that?
Computer coding, yeah. I haven't really, been as consistent as with technology, coding, and stuff like that. But I've always liked it, since I was young, computers and stuff like that. Um, but it's definitely something that I'm thinking about getting into when I get to college. I'm not sure yet, but it's definitely a hobby that I like. If I'm bored, just play around. But yeah, it's definitely something that I like to do on my free time and stuff like that.
Now, before we close, I just want to ask, what's one thing people don't know about Sean Durugordon? What do you want people to know about you?
From a basketball standpoint, just from
Anything,
personal.
basketball or personal.
I think what a lot of people don't know about me is probably that I'm a really pretty hard. I haven't thought about this. I may come off as like a lot of people say that I'm really chill, like nonchalant. But I feel like when you get to know me more, I'm pretty an outgoing person. But from an outsider standpoint, people may think that I'm pretty chill, like nonchalant. Don't really like to do too much. But as you get to know me and as I get comfortable with you, I'm pretty outgoing and like a funny person.
Now, Sean, before we go, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at the only Sean Durugordon, Twitter at Durugordon, and yep, that's it.
Sean, it was great having you on. Good luck in Missouri, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Thanks, appreciate it.